Oh, Utopia. That is an interesting name for the date of February 15th. When I awake, the sun is already up. My room is dimly lit. I feel like it's still last night, but I quickly shake my head to banish the thoughts. It's cloudy outside. No wonder I didn't wake up. The added darkness seems to have done a lot to help my sleep-deprived body get some actual rest. A glance at the clock tells me it's past 1 in the afternoon. I'm way past the point of oversleeping. Saber, are you awake? Right, I forgot. We slept with Saber at the end of last stream. Good times, good times. There's no answer. Saber's still next to me, slightly curled and still asleep. Once I'm not sleepy anymore, I wake up, but Saber has to recover her magical energy. Considering how much she's slept in the past, I doubt she'll wake up until later in the afternoon. I leave my room without waking Saber. There's no reason to wake her. No real danger is at night. Or the real danger is at night. There's no way Lance or Gilgamesh will appear while the sun's still out. They're nocturnal, as all great minds throughout history were. So we need to come up with a plan. I don't know about Lancer, but Gilgamesh will definitely show up tonight. Given his personality and the murderous look he gave us before he left yesterday, we can definitely expect him tonight. But what should we do? He has an infinite supply of noble phantasms, and one of them is stronger than Excalibur. Berserker was a hard enemy to defeat, but he still managed. We managed to find an exploit, a chance to turn the tide against him. Not this guy. If he showed up now, it wouldn't even be a contest. One blow from that noble phantasm, yeah, and we're finished. I need to think of something. There's not much time until the sun sets. There won't be an end to this if I think on my own. If Saber and I can't think of a plan, then... Hey, don't leave Ilya out of it. She's a valued member of the team. The church. Maybe that overseer priest might know something? Isn't he supposed to be neutral? I guess Gilgamesh isn't technically part of the contest, so that wouldn't be breaking any neutrality. He might have a plan that could help us deal with the mess we're in. Presuming he's not, in on it, of course. The King of Heroes, Gilgamesh. Kotamine said he would find some way to deal with the servant who survived the previous Holy Grail War. Even if we can't think of a countermeasure, Kotamine might have already thought of something. I just realized, because I always thought it was kind of weird of oh, Gilgamesh is Archer. But no, it actually makes a lot of sense, because if he has access to all the weapons, he could probably be summoned as, any type of heroic spirit, I imagine. Yeah, that seems to make sense to me. I walk up the hill. The sky is blanketed with ash gray clouds. The church sits alone at the top of the hill. There's nobody there, and not a sound to be heard. Not even birds chirping. Maybe that's because it's so gloomy out? The place looks more ominous than holy. It looks like an execution site. I walk up the long hill and cross the wide open square, ready to be judged for my sins and cast down into hell. What the hell am I talking about? That's no metaphor. Besides, the church is a place where people die. And often churches have an accompanying burial ground, but it's not like people are actually burnt at the stake at the church, at the steps of the church anymore. Hospitals work to prolong a person's life, but plenty of people die there. Churches are like that too. In that sense, death hangs heavy over this place. The wind's cold. I pull up my collar and climb the church's stairs. Kotomine, I came to talk to you. I step into the chapel. Just like the square, there's nobody here. Man, his church has really bad attendance. Well, I guess if we're not coming in on like Sundays, I guess it probably makes sense. Also, it's in Japan. Like, Japan is not a very heavily Christian country, as I understand. Kotomine? He might be in the back. I pass through the pews and walk towards the altar. Tap, tap, tap. Though the sound effects probably gave you that impression already. A dry sound echoes through the chapel. The building is probably designed to make sounds echo, but the sound of my lonely footsteps is haunting in this huge empty space. Kotomine, are you here? I call softly to the priest. This is ridiculous. If I want an answer, I should be shouting. He's probably in the back, so he won't hear me unless I shout. But I don't. I keep quiet, tiptoeing my way to the back of the church. Am I doing this so that I don't mess with the solemn air of this chapel? Or because I feel like if I'm spotted, I'll be surrounded by things I don't understand, and then maybe get beheaded for defiling God or something. I exit the chapel and head to the courtyard. If I remember correctly, Kotomine's room is... I walk more quietly down the corridor. The church is like a labyrinth, and I don't know how to find Kotomine's room. My memory's kind of hazy, and I'm sure I won't be able to find it on my own. What's this? Impending doom? There's something. I slow my breathing. It's hard to breathe. My throat is parched. I don't know why. But beads of sweat begin forming on my forehead through the corridor, although the corridor itself is chilly. I use all of my senses to try to get a feel for my surroundings. I do so. But I'm not sure why. Why am I walking so quietly? Why is my heart beating so fast? Why? Why do I have such a bad feeling about this place? Two words repeat over and over in my mind. Go back, go back, go back, go back. Kotomine is not here, so you have no reason to stay. You're alone. You should go home. This is a mistake. You shouldn't be so cold. It's all wrong. Go back, go back, go back. Go back. For your own sake, go back. There's nothing bad happening here. This place is... There's nothing happening in this church, so go home. Huh? I feel nauseous. I think I might throw up. My intuition is always right about these kinds of things. For an untrained mage, I have a pretty good danger sense. Which is why my feet don't stop. I try to get my racing heart under control as I search for Kotomine's room. And then I run into a deep darkness. There's a basement. I spot a set of stairs. In the deep shadows, I see a recess that I'd normally overlook. In it, I see a very narrow staircase. I shouldn't go down. I can bet Kotomine won't be there. There won't be anyone down there. There's nothing there. There won't be any there won't be any there won't be any... I shouldn't go in there. My neck stiffens. I should... go back home or go down to the basement. It's a tough one. And obviously, I'm being screamed at practically not to go in there. It's probably reckless to do so. Though simultaneously, is the red text even me? Or is it someone trying to interfere, someone doing something wrong that they desperately don't want me to stumble upon? Even in that case, is it wise to invade this space? To defy the wishes of this being that's interfering with my mind? And the smart thing to do, perhaps, is to go home and come back with backup. However, fortune favors the bold, does it not? I step into the darkness. It's a room made of stone. The lights are out, but the room itself feels like it's alive, and a faint blue light suffuses the whole place. There's a sanctuary underground. No dust or cobwebs anywhere. It looks like this place sees a lot of use. I'm not sure how far back it goes. I look back up the stairs I just came down. The staircase hugs a curved wall. After descending the curved staircase, I look up and see the entrance is about 10 meters above me now. Maybe it's the absence of lights. But the gently curving staircase puts me in mind of a centipede crawling its way through the cathedral. And then I notice a door. It's right at the bottom of the stairs. There's a symbol on the wall. Beyond it, a deep darkness beckons me. Almost as if it were drawing me in, I find myself stepping into the darkness. I step through what seems like an entrance of some kind. It's damp. The floor is all slimy and it's hard to walk. It reminds me of when I was cleaning the school pool. Moss covers the entire floor, and it feels like my feet are sinking to the ankles into some kind of rot covering the floor. I stop suddenly. The nasty sensation beneath my feet is bad enough, but now there's a horrible stench. I pinch my nose shut. This isn't some temporary odor. It's permeated the whole room. It doesn't smell like fish or gunpowder. It smells like formaldehyde. The chemical reek of it has stagnated in the room like thick mud. My senses seem to have been numbed from the moment I got into the basement. I'm long past tension and nervousness. And yet, my heart expands and contracts without a break, and my limbs are moving so weirdly, it feels like I might wrench out every nerve in my body. And what's worse, my eyes have grown accustomed to the darkness. The darkness fades. I hear drops of water falling. It's almost like that serves as the starting bell. What I couldn't see before is suddenly clear. What I see is an all too familiar living hell. Death lined up all in a row. Debris is piled everywhere. The stench of death covered by antiseptics. I thought this was all a lie. I would have believed none of this is real. But I can't deceive myself. I can tell in an instant. Even in a room so full of corpses, not one of the bodies here is truly dead. They're alive? They're all alive. These corpses, they can only be called corpses, however human they once were are all alive. Why are they still alive? How are they still alive? I look over each and every body. Not one of them has retained their original form. Imagining what happened to every one of these sacrilegious forms is just too terrifying. They're more like the husks of dead trees than corpses. Some have been broken down to the point that their flesh has seeped into the cracks of the stone pavement. Some are hung against the wall and are little more than nests for bugs. Whatever their arrangement, these figures have only torsos and heads, and even those are pitifully ragged. I don't even need to know why. The corpses are being eaten away in their coffins. I don't know how it works. Each corpse is welded into a coffin, and the coffin sucks the nutrients from them. The flow of life. The coffin is extracting magical energy, souls. Little by little, the coffin sucks the life out of its prey in such a precise amount that it neither kills it nor allows it to truly live. The wind moans through the chamber. It's almost like a single scream from the mouths of every corpse here. Their throats have long since decayed, so they can't scream for themselves anymore. By now, their throats only barely serve to carry air to their lungs. But still, the corpses scream. All but inaudible, they scream. They must be in terrible pain, and so very afraid. They continue to shriek, unable to accept that their bodies are being eaten alive as they gradually lose their shape. Well, that's worrying. I hear a creaking sound. The coffin in front of me gurgles. It's oozing. The corpse's head is turned toward me. Something falls out of it. Its swollen lips move slightly. In a voice that isn't a voice, it asks, "Where am I?" That's what it wants to know. I'm about to scream. No, I can't even scream anymore. Where am I? It didn't say it was in pain. It didn't ask for help. Just want to know what this horrible place is. I'm trying to understand. Did that child find themselves in the state when they came to? Before this, they must have lived a normal life, slept normally, but one day they woke up and found themselves here. The question must have come from the hope that this is just a bad dream, being trapped in a coffin, unable to move, their limbs rotting. My heart's breaking. This is so unimaginably horrible. But why? Why do they seem so strangely familiar? I've never seen any of them, but I recognize every one of the corpses. This is my first time here. I shouldn't know any of them. None of them are connected to me, so why? Why do they act like they know me? Just like how I know them. And why are they staring at me? And I have another question. Each of them shares something in common, unless that's just a coincidence. Why do all these corpses look like children of the same age? And then... Ah, welcome, Shiro Emiya. Dang, man. If I knew that... I knew that scandal regarding like children and priests and kids and stuff in the Catholic Church was bad, but I didn't realize it was this bad. Sorry, I shouldn't joke about that. That was in bad taste. It comes out of nowhere. A hand claps my shoulder from behind. The voice is friendly, like a greeting from a close friend. I go completely stiff with shock. I can't even turn around. Only, I don't have to turn to see who's behind me. Kyrie Kotomine. This church's priest. The man responsible for this little piece of hell. And the devil. The last person I should have run into right now. What unfortunate timing. I did expect you to visit soon, so I suppose it's my fault for preparing a meal at this hour. Do you recall how I failed to be hospitable last time? I attempted to be more considerate this time, but it seems we missed each other. I can't say anything. The priest's hands rest heavily on my shoulders. I cannot, however, condone your trespassing. You might see something you shouldn't. And then, having learned the truth, well, that might set our relationship back quite a ways. The priest sounds more cheerful than I had ever heard. As Kotomine stands there behind me, hands on my shoulders, I can tell he's smiling. It's indescribably terrifying. What is the matter, Shiromiya? You have come to talk, correct? There's no sense being quiet then. This is a surprise. Is this such a bizarre sight to you? Yeah? He sounds so cheerful even when he's saying such horrible things. Does this man not feel anything in the face of this horror? Do you need to comment on how horrible this is? Oh, how cold of you. Proper manners dictate you should at least say it is not, whatever you might think. These are practically your brothers and sisters after all. I don't think they would appreciate such rudeness. Eh? What did he just say? And so, happily. What did you say? I said that these corpses are practically your siblings. By whatever means you all survived that hell, you may not be related by blood, but I believe you all share what amounts to a familial bond. Am I wrong? Oh no. Oh no. Do all these people have the same like healing capabilities that I have? Because if so, I'm in danger. Is that how they're still alive? That's very well. Oh no. Oh no. Wait, were there more survivors from that day than just me? So that's why I thought I recognized them. This is a continuation of what happened 10 years ago. I'm back in that hospital room. My head is spinning. Children have lost their homes and parents. They were sent to an orphanage until they were adopted. But before that happened to me, Kiritsugu Amiya adopted me. So I never knew what happened to those kids afterward. I'd actually avoided finding out. The orphanage was at the church on top of the hill, and I could have gone there any time if I'd wanted to. But I held back. I felt it was unfair for me who did get adopted to go visit the children who still hadn't been. That's why I decided that if I were to meet them, it would have to be in town. We would just bump into each other, chat idly, to catch up, and most importantly, I've gotten over the fire and tell. As small as our town is, I always dreamed of a reunion like that, but it never happened. Kotomine. That is correct, Shiro Emiya. Had Kiritsugu Emiya not adopted you, you would have shared these things' fates. Do you understand? You were the only one who was saved. While everyone else died equal, you were the one who violated this harmony by surviving. What do you think? Do you not find that just a little unfair? My heart starts beating again. I'd been frozen stiff a moment ago, but suddenly I'm able to move. Oh, don't mistake me. This isn't criticism. On the contrary, your situation is a delight. Your talent for survival is impressive. Honestly, I didn't expect you to last so long. That is why I thought to reunite you with your siblings here in your final moments. You piece of... Lucky boy, I planned to close this place after today, so you barely made it. For the past 10 years, I've kept them alive as fodder to sustain servants, but that is all coming to an end. I can no longer collect the same quantity of robust souls, all steeped in agony as I once did. Of course, there's also no need for feed any longer. All that remains is to kill you and your servants. You fucking piece of shit! Those words shatter the restraints that had been holding me still. I move my paralyzed body. Pushing clear of the hands on my shoulders, I leap forward and whirl around to face the priest. Kotomine, it was you! As I face him, I put distance between us. In that moment, I feel a powerful impact from behind. That's weird. I can't breathe. Something sharp protrudes from my chest. It looks like the head of a spear. That can't be. How could a spear be growing out of my chest? Ah, yes. I also failed to mention. Allow me to formally introduce you to my servant. I turn around. There. I see a blue-colored spearman, his weapon thrust through my chest. He jerks it free. At the same time, a searing, intense pain rocks my entire body. Ugh! Red splatters the floor. I collapse onto the slimy, mossy ground. I try to push myself to my feet, but my body's too heavy. I can't move. While I may not be paralyzed anymore, my body isn't capable of moving for entirely different reasons now. The pain in my chest is unbelievable, blotting out the blood loss and dimming vision. I can't pass out. I've sustained fatal wounds numerous times. They were all bad. They all numbed my senses. This is different. It's a fatal wound for sure, but the pain is just too intense. My vision distorts. The instant I pass out from pain, more pain jolts me back awake. I can't feel my limbs. I can't even tell where I am anymore. The only things I feel are vomit-inducing pain and the temptation to just disappear to escape this agony. I told you not to kill him, Lancer. Otherwise, there would be no point in keeping him alive until now. I can only hear voices. My eyes are open, but I can't see anything. I hear ya, even if I don't love the order. Lance's voice is devoid of emotion. Well, I can barely hear him. Fine, then we will begin our preparations. A servant can sense when their master is in danger. We have about 30 minutes until Saber arrives here. Kotamine, this kid's not gonna last that long. If you want him alive, you should stop the bleeding. That will not be necessary. If he dies, so be it. My mind is fading. The pain finally becomes too much, and my mind lets me faint. Yeah, I think I may have made a mistake in coming here. Ugh. I stopped the pain by digging into my wound. The pain resumes. I'm on the verge of sinking into oblivion, only to be dragged into a world of searing pain. I want to die. This pain isn't going to stop. I want to die right now. I know that. I know, but if I faint here, I know I'm never going to wake up. I can't even remember what I'm doing. I feel like I'm just drifting through this white-hot pain that will burn me to nothing. Saber! I grit my teeth, trying to endure the pain and trying to cling to my own fading awareness. I still have like one command spell left. Could I use it? Maybe? I can't end it all here. I can't let myself drop out of the war so easily. There's still a promise I haven't fulfilled yet. I believe she's the most important person in my world. I can't just disappear here.